Your vacation was so needed and so fun, but you haven't closed the circle on making memories until you archive your photos in an album. With our electronic tools, it's easier than ever, right? We'll help you get efficient with snapping, saving, and documenting as you go. Memory keeping expert Jill Broadbent is here. It's great to see you.
You too.
You make the point, Jill, that we rely too heavily on raw pics in our photo carousel.
Yeah, don't you get back from a trip and then you're like, oh, remember that one spot we went? And you're scrolling, because you took hundreds, maybe thousands of photos on that trip to show somebody or to remember that one moment. And so we want to get them off that camera roll. I mean, it's a good place to store them, but to live with them, you want to get them off and into something that your family can enjoy after those trips.
So what outputs are you suggesting for us?
I have lots of different ideas to show you today because there's different ways you can document it, from the easiest, most simple to the elaborate, fun, creative. So we've got a little bit of everything for you.
Okay, help us get there. The process first is you're going to curate the very best of what you have.
Yep, because again, you've taken all these photos, but you don't need 15 photos of that one building, maybe just your favorite, right?
I'm the worst too, in that I'll be like, oh, different expression. Look, Penny's smiling here, but she, worst.
So make a little folder on your phone of the ones you want to actually print, right?
Okay.
You don't have to delete everything. I do try and, like, on a trip nightly, clean up all the ones that I didn't need from that day.
That's so
But
smart.
then when you're going to actually make an album, kind of curate what that's going to be.
So I'm putting them in a separate folder.
Sure, of what you're going to print. And if you have your whole family, if you've got teenagers who have phones too, maybe make a shared folder where everyone's dumping those, and then you pick which ones are going to help tell your story from your trip the best.
You say the next step is to crop and edit.
Yep. So I like to do that either in the evenings when you're home kind of relaxing from the day, kind of looking through it, reliving those memories, and kind of cropping and editing, getting rid of anything that I don't want. Then, or even on the flight home or the drive home if you're on a road trip, use that time to kind of get it done. Because when you get home, life starts back up, right?
I do feel like a little time between the moment helps me be more ruthless in what I edit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like if I'm just coming off the high of the day, I almost need a little bit to really get tough.
That flight home, I kind of go back through, delete a bunch, clean up, and then I'm ready to print.
Okay.
So.
All right, at that point, we can think about the finished format and how we want to scrapbook our look. And one thing you really like, especially for vacations, are photo collages.
Yes, because again, you have so many photos. So as much as I am a good lover of traditional scrapbooking, that takes a lot of time, and then you have this huge album where photo collages, as you can see down here, these are going to give you a way to just drop in a lot of those photos. So I like to do a full page photo, kind of our favorite photos, making those stars of the album. But then when you've got all these different sites and things that you've got going on, you can drop those in to the photo wells on those templates, and it's so easy. So I love doing these on a trip. You can do them in 12 by 12 size, 8.5 by 11, 6 by 8. So whatever size of album you're trying to create, you can do that here. And the best thing about this is the templates are already designed for you.
What program are you using?
You always do them on Persnickety Prints album, but there's lots of other apps you can even do it in. So you can do it lots of different ways.
And why do you like the individual pages versus like a photo book?
So photo books, as much as we might like to just upload and print and have them mail you a book, those are just like a nice color copy, where a photo print is actually photo quality, light safe, color safe. And so these are going to last you a long time. The effort's the same. So I recommend printing them as photos and dropping them in a sheet protector in an album versus an actual printed photo book.
Can you elaborate a little bit on the pros and cons of like sizing and various formats?
Yeah, so obviously if you have a system already, then stick with your system. But I even have, my annual books are 12 by 12, but lots of my travel books, I love doing this 6 by 6 size. And you can see it here. It's kind of bite size, and it can be a whole book for one trip. And then when you want to relive that memory, you just grab it off the shelf. So 6 by 8 lets you have 3 by 4 photos, 4 by 6 photos, pretty easy sizes to kind of manipulate and also prioritize your photos.
So you like the 6 by 8?
Yep, so this is a really good option. So this one is just a recent trip we did to New York, and the whole album took me less than 2 hours to put together. I picked a paper line. This one's from Pink Fresh Studios, and I was able to just put in some of the little ephemera, the stickers, and things like that, and that whole album came together quickly.
For big trips, though, you told my producer you do like to go big.
Yeah. So obviously, like a good trip to Hawaii, I love being able to do like the full scrapbook and do some of those details details. So a good 12 by 12 with all your pattern paper and all your embellishments and your stamps and stickers
so this is
is
more
always
of
fun
a
too.
creative flex.
Yes, yep. So the other thing I love doing is collecting the ephemera and details along the way. So on this album here, you can see I have some postcards put in. I bought some little buttons on the trip, and these become kind of the decorative elements in the album. So as you're traveling, collect some of those receipts, ticket stubs, postcards that help you get some good design.
Cute.
And put those in your album as well.
You're a big fan of traveler's notebooks.
Yeah,
and
those
not
are so
just
fun.
for the key memory keeper, like the chief mom officer of the group, but you like to give traveler's notebooks to everybody on the trip.
So we did a trip where I gave all my kids one of these traveler's notebooks. They're just these cute little plain, you can flip it through, it's blank. And these are really inexpensive to get, but then each kid can kind of document as they want. They can put whatever they have in them. So then we took it up a level and made my daughter this album, which is just full of traveler's notebooks, but we added some fun pattern paper.
Oh, look at this.
We gave her stickers. Right here, I put a little tab so we could show. She's able to put whatever she wants to keep in there.
So these are a series of traveler's notebooks all in one little
binder. And it's just a fun way to have
Jill.
the kids be able to input as to what their memories are and what they want to collect.
Do you give the kids prompts, like what to write?
Yeah, there's fun lists of questions you can ask them, and that's what some of my journaling is, even on these scrapbook pages. Here I wrote everybody's favorites from Hawaii, and here I had my son actually write in his handwriting what his favorite memory was. But you can ask them things like what we saw, what we ate, what was your favorite memory? What's the thing you're gonna tell your friends when you get back from this trip? What are you gonna say you did in Hawaii that was so fun? Because that's the perspective. You'll laugh kind of at what they remember. You worked so hard to create all these moments, and they're like, I loved that
lunch
taco.
at McDonald's.
Exactly. So it's awesome though to document and see kind of what they pull out of these trips too, because it's their memories as well.
You've made this feel so grabbable, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Final advice for documenting our trips.
Yeah, just pick something, try something, and just do it as quickly as you can after the trip so that it doesn't become a task later that feels overwhelming. Just do it while it's all fresh and fun and the memories are still there.
I think so many women agree it's a worthwhile, activity to get those memories documented. So
yeah, they're definitely our treasures to look at later.
Jill, thank you. Where can we get more advice and inspiration?
You can follow me on Instagram at Crafty Afternoon.
Okay, we'll meet you there. Thank you. Happy travels.